Your subconscious mind runs your financial life the way an operating system runs a computer. It processes every decision, every opportunity, every transaction through a set of deep programs, beliefs, emotional patterns, identity structures that were installed long before you had any say in the matter. Those programs determine how much money you earn, how much you keep, how much you allow in, and how quickly you unconsciously push it away. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. This is an activation, Avalanches of Money. What you're about to experience goes beyond meditation, beyond affirmation or visualization. This is a consciousness activation, a precise arrangement of language engineered to alter the way your subconscious mind relates to money at its deepest structural level. By the time these words have finished moving through you, your internal financial architecture will have been fundamentally reorganized, and the reorganization will produce results in your physical reality that are so dramatic, so sudden and overwhelming in scale that the only accurate word for them is avalanche. An avalanche is a specific kind of event. It builds invisibly. Snow accumulates on a mountainside layer after layer after layer, and from the outside everything looks still. Everything looks calm. Exactly the way it looked yesterday. And then one grain of snow, one vibration, one shift in temperature that would be imperceptible under any other circumstance triggers a cascade. And in seconds, the entire mountainside is in motion, millions of tons of accumulated material releasing all at once, unstoppable, overwhelming, reshaping the landscape permanently. That is the model for what is about to happen in your financial life. The wealth has been accumulating, the opportunities have been stacking, the connections, the ideas, the resources, the channels through which money can reach you, all of it has been building, layer after layer, in the invisible realm where all physical reality is first assembled. This activation is the vibration that triggers the release. The precise frequency that causes everything that has been building in silence to suddenly, powerfully, and irreversibly cascade into your visible experience. Here's how the technology works. Your subconscious mind runs your financial life the way an operating system runs a computer. It processes every decision, every opportunity, every transaction through a set of deep programs, beliefs, emotional patterns, identity structures that were installed long before you had any say in the matter. Those programs determine how much money you earn, how much you keep, how much you allow in, and how quickly you unconsciously push it away. This activation rewrites those programs. It uses specific patterns of rhythm, repetition, imagery, and embedded suggestion to bypass the analytical mind and speak directly to the subconscious, installing new financial software while you simply listen. The words do the work. The patterns do the work. The frequency embedded in the arrangement of concepts does the work. And your subconscious, which is always listening, always absorbing, updating its model of reality based on the dominant inputs it receives, takes those patterns and builds a new financial identity out of them. An identity that receives avalanches. You're free to relax completely, free to let your mind drift. The deeper you relax, the more effectively the new programming installs. Because relaxation widens the door between the conscious and subconscious mind. Your analytical mind can follow along, or it can wonder. Either way, the subconscious is absorbing every word, every pattern, every frequency embedded in what follows. And every time you listen again, the effect compounds, the program deepens, the results accelerate, the avalanches grow larger. Let yourself settle in now. Let the weight of your body press into whatever surface is supporting you. If you're walking, then enjoy your walk, or if you're cooking, then enjoy whatever you're doing. Let these words carry you into a state of consciousness where avalanches of money are the most natural, expected, and ordinary thing in the world. Right now, somewhere above you, a mountainside of wealth is loaded and ready. You can't see it. You can't hear it yet, but it's there, accumulated over years, over decades, waiting for this exact moment. Every dollar you ever earned and spent, every opportunity you ever glimpsed and let pass, every financial seed you ever planted that seemed to disappear into the ground without a trace. All of it has been accumulating, compounding, building pressure. Every visualization, growing heavier, and the mountainside is full. So full that it only needs one thing to release, one vibration. One shift, one crack in the surface that allows the weight to begin moving. That crack is forming right now. You can feel it. A subtle loosening somewhere deep inside of you. A giving way. Something that was holding tight is beginning to release its grip. And as it releases, the first granules of snow begin to shift. The first grains of wealth begin to move, slowly at first, almost imperceptibly, but moving. And once an avalanche begins, it only accelerates. Let yourself feel the beginning of it, the very first tremor of financial movement, the stirring of accumulated wealth that has been waiting patiently, quietly, invisibly for you to reach this exact frequency, this exact state of readiness, this exact moment of opening. Here you are. Here it comes. Allow yourself to sink into this moment. Let the ordinary concerns of the day fade to the periphery. Let the noise of the world grow distant. There's only this, only these words, only this frequency. There's a growing awareness, becoming more certain with every passing second, that something extraordinary is happening inside you right now. A reconfiguration, a rewiring, a fundamental alteration of the internal machinery that generates your financial reality. You can feel it the way you can feel a deep muscle being stretched for the first time. There's a sensation of something opening that has been closed for a very long time. Let it open. Let it widen. Let the stretch go all the way. There's a law of nature that most people forget when it comes to money. Everything that grows follows the same pattern. There's a long, silent period of invisible accumulation, where the work is happening beneath the surface, where the roots are spreading, where the structure is being built in the dark, followed by a sudden dramatic emergence into the visible world. The bamboo plant grows underground for years before it breaks the surface and shoots up 90 feet in a matter of weeks. The earthquake builds pressure along a fault line for centuries before releasing in a single landscape-altering event. The avalanche accumulates for an entire winter before cascading in a matter of seconds. Your wealth has been following this identical pattern. You've been planting seeds, you've been doing the inner work, shifting your beliefs, refining your vision, holding your frequency, showing up day after day in a world that seemed to be giving you very little evidence that any of it was working. And the whole time, the accumulation was happening. The roots were spreading, the snowpack was building, the pressure increasing. Every meditation, every activation, every moment of maintained faith was another layer of snow on the mountainside. Every time you listen to one of my episodes, another layer of snow. Every act of generosity was another layer. Every moment of gratitude was another layer. Every time you chose to hold your vision instead of collapsing into doubt, another layer. Heavier than the last, pressing the total closer to the tipping point, and now, the mountainside is loaded beyond capacity. This is the part that most people never reach. They plant the seeds and then dig them up after a week to check if anything is growing. They build pressure and then release it through doubt before it reaches critical mass. They accumulate 90% of what is needed and then abandon the process at the very moment when one more layer would have triggered the cascade. You're still here. You kept accumulating, you kept building, you kept layering, and the result is a mountainside so loaded with financial potential that the slightest vibration will bring it all down into your life at once. Every dollar you thought you lost, every opportunity you thought passed you by, every seed that seemed to die in the ground, all accumulating, compounding, gathering mass in the invisible realm. And the mass is now critical. The weight is now sufficient. The only remaining variable It's the trigger. That vibration is these words. That vibration is this frequency. The precise state of consciousness you're entering right now as you let these words settle deeper and deeper into the subconscious mind that controls every aspect of your financial reality. And the beautiful thing about a trigger is how small it can be relative to what it releases. A single footstep can release 10 million tons of snow. A single word can release a lifetime of accumulated wealth. A single shift in frequency, the kind of shift that is happening inside you right now, can trigger a cascade of financial abundance so massive, so overwhelming, and so life-altering that you will look back on this moment as the dividing line between the old financial reality and the new. Before this activation, after this activation, two completely different lives. And the distance between them is measured in minutes. The minutes you're spending right here, right now, absorbing the vibration that triggers the avalanche by listening to my voice. Feel yourself sinking deeper now. Deeper into the state where everything shifts. The state where the analytical mind quiets and the subconscious mind opens wide like a valley floor waiting to receive everything the mountain is about to release. Your breathing is slower now. Your muscles are softer. The space between your thoughts is wider. And in that widening space, something is changing, something fundamental and permanent. The old financial set point, the invisible thermostat that has been regulating how much money you allow into your life, is being recalibrated. You can feel it clicking upward like the dial on a safe, turning to the correct combination. Each word you absorb moves the dial one more position, click. Another number falls into place, click. The combination is almost complete, click. When the final number lands, the lock releases, the door swings open, and everything that has been stored behind it comes flooding out. Years of accumulated wealth, decades of compounded potential, all of it rushing through the open door at once to you. That combination is being entered right now, word by word, sentence by sentence, concept by concept. Each one a digit in the code that unlocks the vault where you accumulated wealth that has been held in escrow, waiting for you to reach the frequency that authorizes its release. And you are so close now. You can feel the anticipation of it in your body, the tingling awareness that something massive is about to move, something so large and powerful that when it arrives, it will reshape your financial landscape the way an avalanche reshapes a mountain valley. Permanently, dramatically, and all at once. Let yourself stay here, right in this space, in this frequency, because this is the trigger point. This is the exact vibration that starts the cascade, and it is locked in now. It is reverberating through every layer of your consciousness, shaking loose the accumulated wealth that has been building for longer than you know. The first wave is already in motion. You can feel it building behind your ribs, a pressure, a fullness, a sense of something about to be born. That sensation is the physical correlate of the avalanche beginning its descent. Your body is registering the event before your eyes can see it. Your cells are celebrating before your bank account can reflect it, and that is always how it works. The body knows first, the field organizes second, and the physical evidence arrives third. You are in the first stage now. Your body already knows the wealth is on its way. An avalanche moves in waves. The first wave is the fastest. It's the leading edge of the cascade, the initial rush of material that breaks free from the pack and races down the mountainside ahead of everything else. In your financial life, the first wave will arrive as a sudden, unexpected inflow of money. It may come from a direction you were never watching. It may arrive through a person you barely know. It may take form you have never experienced before. It may arrive as a payment you had forgotten was owed, a rebate that seems to appear from thin air, a conversation that turns unexpectedly toward an opportunity worth more than a year of your old income. The specific form is unpredictable because the field is infinitely creative in the channels through which it delivers wealth, but the arrival itself is certain, and it will be large enough to get your attention, large enough to make you pause, large enough to make you think something has changed. The purpose of the first wave is confirmation. It's the universe's way of saying, the avalanche has begun. Your state has changed. Your frequency has shifted, the vault has opened, and everything behind that first wave is already in motion, accelerating, building momentum, preparing to arrive in quantities that dwarf the initial inflow. So when the first wave comes, and it is coming, receive it fully, celebrate it, let it land, let it prove to you that the shift was real, that the technology worked, that the invisible accumulation has begun its cascade into the visible world. Because the way you receive the first wave determines the speed of the second. Let yourself feel the first wave moving towards you right now. Feel the way you feel a train approaching before you can see it. The vibration in the ground, the subtle shift in air pressure, the instinctive knowing that something large is coming. Your body already knows, your cells already know, the part of you that is connected to the quantum field and can sense events before they materialize in the physical form, that part is already registering the first wave. It is close, it is real, and it is carrying a sum of money that will change the way you think about what is possible for you. Behind the first wave, the second, larger, heavier, carrying more, and behind the second, the third, and behind the third, a continuous cascade of financial abundance that builds on itself, feeds on itself, grows with its own momentum, until the flow becomes so natural, so constant, and overwhelming that scarcity becomes a concept you can barely remember. Each wave arrives faster than the one before it. Each wave carries more than the one before it. Each wave buries the old reality deeper beneath another layer of abundance. This is the compounding nature of the avalanche. It accelerates as it descends, and your financial avalanche is descending now. Once an avalanche begins, it is impossible to stop. The sheer mass of it, the accumulated weight of everything that has been building, the gravitational pull of the earth itself, all of it combines to create a force that obliterates every obstacle in its path. Trees are snapped like matchsticks, boulders are swept aside like pebbles. The landscape is permanently and irrevocably transformed. The financial avalanche now building in your life carries the same unstoppable momentum. The old obstacles, the limiting beliefs, the scarcity patterns, the unconscious programs that kept your income locked in a narrow range. Those obstacles are being swept away. They're being overwhelmed by a force so much larger than they are that a resistance is irrelevant. A limiting belief that says you can earn only $60,000 a year is a dust in the path of an avalanche of wealth. The same way a wooden fence is dust in the path of a wall of snow moving at 200 miles per hour. The avalanche simply moves through obstacles as if they were never there. It has zero interest in negotiating, zero interest in slowing down. It moves. It overwhelms, it buries, it keeps moving. This is what's happening to your financial limitations right now. They are being overrun, overwhelmed, buried under the sheer weight of the new programming, the new frequency, the new identity that is being installed in your subconscious as you listen. And once they are buried, they stay buried. The avalanche is irreversible. The snow stays in the valley. The transformation is permanent. The landscape is changed forever. And the landscape of your financial life is being changed right now in real time with every word that passes through your awareness. Feel the momentum building, the weight of it, the unstoppable gravitational, ever-accelerating force of accumulated wealth finally being released into your experience. It is heavy, fast, powerful, and it belongs to you. Every grain of it, every dollar of it, every opportunity, every windfall, every unexpected check, every new income stream, every financial miracle that is about to cascade into your life, all of it belongs to you. It was always yours. It was just waiting on the mountainside, and now it's moving. And the momentum feeds itself. In physics, an object in motion stays in motion unless acted upon by an outside force. The financial momentum you are generating right now is the same. Once the avalanche begins, it sustains itself. The first sum of money generates confidence. The confidence generates bolder action. The bolder action generates larger returns. The larger returns generate deeper uncertainty. The deeper certainty generates an even more powerful signal, and the most powerful signal draws even larger sums. It is a self-reinforcing cycle of never-increasing abundance, and you are stepping into it right now. The first rotation of the cycle is already turning. and every subsequent rotation will be faster, stronger, and more financially abundant than the one before it. Every avalanche needs a valley, a low place, an open space where the cascading material can settle, accumulate, and form a new foundation. In your financial life, that valley is your capacity to receive, your willingness to let large sums of money arrive and stay, your ability to hold wealth without immediately finding ways to get rid of it, give it away, or spend it down to the level your old programming considers safe. Right now, that valley is being widened inside of you. The walls of limitation are being pushed apart. The floor is dropping. The capacity is expanding. You are becoming a vast, open, limitless space into which avalanches of abundance can pour and settle and accumulate. This expansion is happening at the level of your identity, at the level of your self-concept. The deep, unspoken answer you carry to the question, how much am I allowed to have? Feel the expansion happening now, the interior space of your being growing wider, more open and spacious, as if the walls of a room you have been living in your entire life are suddenly moving outward, revealing a space 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times larger than the cramped quarters you had accepted as your permanent home. That cramped space was the old financial identity. The new space, this vast cathedral-like openness you are feeling right now, is the identity of someone who receives avalanches. And you are moving into it, you are filling it, you are making it yours. The old answer to the question of how much you're allowed to have was a number, a range, a ceiling that you could feel whenever you approached it. Tightening, a discomfort, a subtle panic that triggered unconscious spending, bad investments, or the mysterious disappearance of money that seemed to evaporate from your life as it was beginning to accumulate. That ceiling is being removed right now. The bolts that held it in place are being loosened with every sentence you absorb. The supports that kept it rigid are being dissolved by the frequency of those words. And as the ceiling lifts, the valley deepens, and the amount of wealth you are capable of holding expands to match that amount is about to arrive. Because here's the truth that changes everything. The avalanche is already sized. The amount of wealth preparing to cascade into your life has already been determined by the accumulation that has been building on the mountainside. The only variable is the size of the valley, and the valley is expanding right now. With every breath you take in this state, every word that reaches your subconscious, the valley grows wider, deeper, more spacious, more capable of receiving sums that would have overwhelmed the old container. And the avalanche, sensing the expanded space, increases in size to fill it. Because that is what avalanches do. They fill whatever valley is open to receive them. A narrow valley receives a narrow flow. A vast valley receives the full force of the mountain. And your valley is becoming vast, boundless. A space so open and so limitless that the mountain could empty itself completely, and the valley could still have room for more. That is the capacity you're building right now, the capacity for total, overwhelming, boundless financial abundance. There's a sound that money makes when it is in motion. You can hear it if you listen with your inner ear. It sounds like momentum, acceleration, the deep, resonant hum of a system that is ripped from stagnation into flow and is building speed with every passing second. That sound is present right now. It is embedded in the frequency of these words, and your subconscious is tuning to it the way a musician tunes to a pitch, automatically, precisely, and with increasing accuracy as the listening continues. Let yourself hear it now, beneath the words, the meaning, the conscious content of what you're hearing. There is a vibration, a frequency, a carrier wave that is delivering information directly to the part of your brain that controls your financial set point. The information is simple and absolute. You are a person to whom avalanches of money flow. You are a person who receives massive, sudden, overwhelming inflows of wealth as a natural, ordinary part of life, whose financial experience is defined by excess, by overflow, by the constant arrival of more than enough. The information is being written into your neural architecture. The neurons are firing in new patterns. The synapses are forming new connections, the pathways of abundance thickening while the pathways of scarcity thin from disuse. And this rewiring, this literal, physical, measurable restructuring of your brain is producing a new electromagnetic signature that your body is broadcasting into the field surrounding you. The field reads that signature and responds with matching circumstances, events, and opportunities. Transfers of wealth that root themselves towards you with the same reliability and inevitability as water routing itself downhill. Your brain is becoming a wealth magnet. Every neural pathway that fires in the pattern of abundance strengthens the magnetic pull. And right now, with every word, more pathways are firing. The magnet is growing stronger, and the sums being drawn towards you are growing larger. The sound is getting louder, frequency getting stronger, momentum building, and the financial events that are being organized in the invisible realm in response to your new signal are getting closer to the surface, to visibility, to the moment when they break through into your physical experience and you see with your own eyes the first evidence of the avalanche. And here is something remarkable about this particular moment. Right now, as you listen, you're in the exact state of consciousness that the wealthiest people on earth inhabit as their default. The calm certainty, the deep knowing, the absolute absence of financial anxiety. The quiet expectation that large sums are always on their way. You are in that state now. Feel how natural it is, how comfortable, how it fits you, as if it were tailored specifically for your body and your mind. Because it was. This is your natural state. The state of financial struggle was the aberration. The state of scarcity was the costume you were wearing over your true nature. And this, the deep, warm, certain, abundant state, this is who you actually are. This is what you feel like when the costume comes off and the real you stands revealed. The you that was always meant to receive avalanches of money. Imagine being buried in money. Imagine the avalanche has arrived, that the cascade of wealth has been building for years, finally released and is poured into the valley of your life with such force and volume that you are surrounded on every side by abundance. Your accounts are full, investments growing, income streams multiplied, opportunities stacked so deeply that you have the luxury of choosing only the ones that excite you. And the flow continues, more arriving tomorrow, the day after, next week, next month, an endless self-replenishing cascade of wealth that buries every trace of the old scarcity under layers and layers of financial abundance. Let the image grow more specific now. See the numbers in your bank account. See the comma. See the second comma. See how many digits follow it. Let those numbers become real to you. Let them become familiar. Let them become boring, the way a millionaire finds their account balance boring. Because they have seen similar numbers so many times that the novelty has worn off and been replaced by a simple, quiet, unexcitable certainty. That is the state you're moving into now, the state where large numbers in your accounts are as unremarkable as the number of steps between your bedroom and your kitchen, ordinary, expected, barely worth mentioning. Because that is how people who receive avalanches of money relate to their wealth. It's simply there, always there, replenishing, growing, and the normalcy of it is the most powerful part. Because a financial state that feels normal to the subconscious is a financial state that the subconscious will reproduce automatically, effortlessly, and permanently. Let that image become vivid. Let it become so real that your body responds to it as if it were already happening. Because your subconscious mind treats a vividly imagined experience identically to a physically lived one. Both produce the same neurological response, the same electromagnetic signal. Both instruct the field to deliver matching circumstances. So the more vivid you make this image, the more you can feel the weight of the money around you. The more you can sense the security of it, the warmth of it, the freedom of it. The more powerfully your subconscious accepts it as the current reality and begins reorganizing your external circumstance to match. Feel it now, the weight, the warmth, the quiet, bone-deep security of being completely and utterly surrounded by more than enough. Feel what it does to your breathing. Feel how your shoulders drop, how your jaw unclenches, the smile that wants to form on your face, the smile of someone who knows with absolute certainty that money will never be a problem again. The avalanche has arrived, and it has become permanent. An avalanche delivers their full payload into the valley, and they can change the landscape forever. Your landscape is being changed right now, and the change is permanent. After every great avalanche comes a period of aftershock, secondary cascades, small releases triggered by the first one. In your financial life, the aftershocks will manifest as ongoing waves of unexpected income, surprise opportunities, and financial synchronicities that continue for weeks, months, or even years after the initial breakthrough. Just when you think the flow is stabilized, another wave arrives. Another unexpected payment, another door opening, another sum appearing from a direction you had never considered. This is the nature of avalanche energy, self-perpetuating. The initial cascade destabilizes the entire mountainside, and the destabilization triggers further releases, which trigger further releases, which trigger further releases. The original activation, this activation sets off a chain reaction in your financial reality that compounds over time rather than fading. Each wave of abundance loosens the next layer. Each financial breakthrough weakens the remaining barriers. Each inflow of wealth widens the channel for the next, larger inflow, so expect the aftershocks, welcome them. Let each one remind you that the avalanche was real, the shift permanent, and the momentum still building, because it is. Long after the last word of this activation has been spoken, the chain reaction will continue. The secondary cascades will keep arriving, the mountain of accumulated wealth will keep releasing its payload into the valley of your open, expanded, limitless capacity to receive. And each aftershock will be a gift. Unexpected sums will be a confirmation. Financial surprises will be another piece of evidence that the landscape of your life has been permanently transformed. When an avalanche passes through the valley is transformed. The old features are buried, the old contours erased. Your old financial landscape has been erased by the sheer volume of abundance that is cascading into your life. What remains when the avalanche settles is a completely new financial landscape, defined by overflow, by ease, by quiet confidence that comes from knowing, from direct lived experience, that money comes to you in avalanches, regularly, powerfully, and in amounts that would have been unthinkable under the old landscape. The new landscape is your permanent home. You live here now. This is where your financial life unfolds from this day forward. The elevation has changed, the foundation changed. The ground you stand on is higher, more solid, and infinitely more abundant than anything the old landscape offered. Stand on this new ground now. Feel it beneath your feet, solid, abundant, yours. Look out at the financial horizon from this new elevation and see how much further you can see. Opportunities that were invisible from the old ground are visible here. Possibilities that were unthinkable at the old altitude are obvious from this one. Income streams that seemed unreachable from the valley floor are within arm's reach from this new summit. The elevation changes everything, and your elevation has changed permanently. Feel the state you're in right now. This deep, warm, expansive, absolutely certain state where avalanches of money are the most natural thing in the world. This state is being sealed into your subconscious as your new permanent default. And as you begin to return to your normal waking awareness, you bring this state with you. It travels with you. It lives in you now. It hums beneath your thoughts, beneath your conversations, beneath your daily activities, broadcasting its signal into the quantum field 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Go about your day now. Drive your car, make your calls, eat your meals, live your life. Walk through the world as someone whose financial landscape has just been permanently transformed, because it has. You can feel the difference in the way you carry yourself, in the way your body moves, in the quiet confidence that sits behind your eyes when you think about money. Something is different, settled, done. And the evidence of that transformation will begin appearing in your physical reality with a speed and a consistency that confirms everything you felt during this activation. The avalanche of money is here. The first wave is already arriving, the second wave is close behind, and behind that, wave after wave after wave of wealth so abundant, so overwhelming and continuous that your only task is to stand in the valley with your arms wide open and let it bury you in everything you have ever desired. Every time you return to this activation, the mountain reloads, the accumulation rebuilds, the trigger fires again, and the avalanche cascades with even more force, even more volume, even more life-changing abundance than the last time before. Compound effect turns each listen into a multiplication of the last, and the financial result in your visible reality grows to match. It is happening now. The mountain is moving, and it is moving towards you. Now, before you go, I want to invite you to join the Reality Revolution community. Now is the time. We offer exclusive content like Neville Goddard's Power of Awareness, Joseph Murphy's The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Saint Germain's The I Am Discourses, exclusive content, unique training modules, and weekly group coaching sessions, all available right now. You can find the link in the description. It's at skool.com, skool.com/Reality Revolution. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.